Welcome everyone, I'm K-Plays Games and this is episode 8 of our EVE Online Let's Play series. In the last episode we did the entire Exploration Career Agent arc because he only had 5 missions for us. We learned about anomalies that you don't need to scan, signatures that you do need to scan, how to use probe scanners to locate these signatures, and how to hack locked containers. We were rewarded with a Magnate, which is a specialised scanning ship. In this episode I'll be taking you through my own personal tutorial for more advanced exploration techniques such as finding normal combat anomalies and signatures. Let's see what we find, shall we? Let's grab the Punisher again. I've been wanting to remove this overdrive injector for a while because I don't think it's providing us with much. Let's instead, because we might not have enough CPU to fit another heatsink. Let's check. We press shift to duplicate something that's already fitted. No, so we don't have enough CPU to fit an extra heatsink. But there are a compact version. Heatsink 1 uses 27 and the compact version uses 25. See these? They have 6. We can fit a compact afterburner as well. Expensive. So why am I undocking in such a hurry? Because I saw something on the scan panel that I want to show you. Open the scan panel again. This here, this drone assembly combat site, this is not a training site like these. This is a bona fide proper combat site. Let's warp to it.
Warp drive active.
A little intro splurge, it doesn't mean much. Various types of these combat sites just automatically populate because they're anomalies. They contain bad guys to kill for bounty and potentially nice loot. Let's see what we have. A bunch of wrecks because someone's been here before. And a drone destroyer and a drone frigate. So let's lock them up and shoot them in the face. Let's get rid of the destroyer first. Is this one, because he deals more damage. Keep it range 6,000. Oh, a keep it range can actually go up to something like 8. $12,375 risk for killing him. And 7,875 for killing the frigate. That has triggered the next wave, so let's keep working destroyers first, because destroyers output more damage than frigates. Each different ship class has a different icon. I could go through them all, but there's an awful lot of them and you'll soon learn. You can see them when you mouse over. It says it's a destroyer, this one says it's a frigate. So let's kill the other destroyer, keep it range, because you know that makes our guns more accurate. Oh, shield warning, don't care about that, we're an armor tanking ship. We were able to keep pace with the incoming damage. Just about. That's him dead. Right, this one's probably at the best range. And with these sites you just carry on killing bad guys till there's nothing left to kill. You're racking up bounty all the time. Drones are weird because drones don't drop any loot, except for one particular type of drone called a sentient drone. That is a commander, and they do drop loot, and it's sometimes very nice.
Active.
Commanders only have a 5% chance to spawn in any given site in the final wave, so they are quite rare, but it's always a nice surprise when you see one. Let's keep our fingers crossed and see if we get beginner's luck. Uh-oh. 3 destroyers and 3 frigates. This could be quite handy. Orbit 3. No, we want orbit to be 6. We were taking a bit of a whack, so let's turn the afterburner on to mitigate some damage and get orbiting.
Permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Okay, this is bad, this is bad. Let's work to the station.
Warp drive active.
Run! Run! Run away! Run away! That horrible screech was the structure damage warning. Yeah, we got out of there just in time. But I do want to go back and finish it, because I want a sentient drone. And let's do some upgrades to the Punisher. Remember, this is our toughest ship, supposedly. And dock.
Permission requested. Docking request accepted.
But our shield will be completely repaired. Our hull won't, but we can deal with that. Okay, fitting. We were taking lots of damage, so we need to mitigate that. So, I would like some kind of armor resistance increase. Let's simulate and see what we can get. Hardware, modules, low slot, hull and armor, armor resistance. And that doesn't provide very much. The drones predominantly do EM. So I'd quite like an EM. That would be good, going from 56 to 66. How much is this on the market? Not available at the station. Do we have any of this one available? Yeah, 99. Okay, we'll take that. Thank you. Let's try again, shall we? Your destroyers really pack a punch, especially on small ships like frigates. Which is another reason I want us to get into a cruiser as soon as we can.
Warp drive active.
Let's see if this does any better. Now I had to act very quickly there, select the station and get out. I think I'll do that if we drop to about half armor. We need to lot of destroyers, and that's the one we were killing. Get back into range and open fire. I'll just hover over the station icon, ready to click warp to 0. Oh, we need to kill at least one. Need to kill at least one of them. Okay, we're good. Good. Are we good? Come on. Come on. Yes. Excellent. Orbit the next one. Shooting. I don't think we're able to maintain 6,000, so let's change it to 5. Okay, now we're able to actually handle this damage. This could either be because we've actually managed to get into high-speed orbit, or because we fitted this. If you show info on an NPC and go to attributes, it tells you the damage you do. Well, these guys are actually doing kinetic and explosive, which is not normal for drones. And you see their resistances. And if we mouse over our weapon, you see that we're doing 174 EM damage and 100 heat damage per cycle to them. So, and they're weakest to EM and thermal. So this is the perfect weapon matchup. Laser guns are very good at killing drones. Oh, come on, get back into range. Okay, so from being completely wrecked very quickly and having to run, we're actually managing to deal. Okay, let's start orbiting the frigates and killing them. Show info on them. Again, they're doing kinetic and explosive. Let's have a look at our resistances. Kinetic and explosive, 3430, not very good. Hey, this guy's doing thermal and kinetic. And our thermal's 43, kinetic 34. But we managed to survive that scare. I hope this wasn't the last wave, because I would really like to see a sentient drone. Uh-oh, here comes another player. As I said, these sites are public. And you will find yourself racing other players to kill the bad guys, and some of them might even steal the loot from the sentient if it spawns. But then this is EVE Online. Oh hooray, he saw we were running the site and he very kindly walked back out. Come on, let's kill it. Yeah. Oh, no sentient drone. What a shame. And just in the off chance that some of these cosmic signatures are not training sites and are in fact proper signatures, and we'll actually scan them all. Now, to repair hull damage, we could buy a hull repairer, undock and run it for a cycle. Or we can right click the ship and get a repair quote. I see, when we took hull damage, it actually damaged some of our modules. When modules take damage, they still operate at 100% efficiency, and they do that right up until the moment they're destroyed. Isn't it going to cost us 1500 ISK? So we'll just repair all. That's the easy way of doing it. And the lazy way. So I think we'll strip the Tormentor. And we'll scan with the scanning frigate, the Magnate. Yeah, just a Tormentor with huge engines. Let's fit this thing. So we want the probe launcher, we want the probes, and I might like to buy some more probes. View market details. 80,000? Yeah, okay, we'll do that. Having extra probes is always good. Always. So let's see. More of these things are populated since we've been in dock. They do it all the time. Ignore them. Open the map. Launch pinpoint formation. We'll set it to 8, I think. Over it. Check 3 dimensions. Reposition. Yeah, that's in the center. And scan. I don't think this map needs to be that large anymore. Nope, don't want that. And we don't want that. And we don't want that. Oh, let's reposition over here. And there's a lot of things here. We're not quite centered on any of them. But we'll get them to single ping markers. These will probably all shoot off in some random directions. Yes, they did. Data training, gas training, right, okay, none of these were real sites. Let's ignore them. And recall the probes. And dock. Exploration has no other agents. It's just something you do yourself. You go into a system, you open up the probe scanner, you see what's there, you scan down, you run any sites that you find. It's a completely sandbox, freeform activity you just do on your own. That's what I like about it. It's freedom. I'd really like to upgrade the Punisher quite a bit. It's a good solid ship, and it shouldn't have got into the situation it was in. Let's spend a bit of time simulating it. And the beam lasers are longer range, but slightly less damage than pulse lasers. So let's try removing the beam lasers and see what pulse lasers we can fit on this thing. See this icon? It filters it to only show things you have skills for, which is handy. Pulse lasers, small. Try the focused energy beams. Okay, these are good. Some ammo on them. Oh, look at this. 94.3 DPS, and its capacitor is stable with the armor repairer and the afterburner running, and it's got quite a lot of headroom. Is it stable with this off? No, oh, not quite. How about with this? Okay, stable with that. Not stable with that. 7 minutes 22. Okay, so we know with multi-frequency, it's 94.3 DPS, stable. If we turn this off, it's not. It's stable. And we can duplicate a heatsink. 27. Not much, not any better really. Engineering equipment. Get the power relay back on. What if we made this enduring and this an enduring? Propulsion, afterburner. Take this one off. Get an enduring on. And hull and armor. Armor repairers, small. Enduring. Is it stable with this off? Oh, that made a difference, didn't it? Still stable because we fitted enduring modules. And if you remember, enduring modules use less capacitor per cycle. So now we can remove this, put a heatsink on. Hey, we've gone up from 94 to 102.7 DPS. This is great. Why is it not cap stable anymore? It was a second ago. That's because we turned the heatsink on. Because heatsinks give a rate of fire bonus, which is making the lasers fire faster, which means they use more cap. But having 102.7 is nice. It will be stable with gamma, back at 92.4. This gives us a little bit more range. I'd really like to get it stable with multi-frequency. How can we do that? Let's have a look at the rigs. Rigs are permanent. Once you put a rig on a ship, it cannot be removed. Well, it can be removed, but it's destroyed in the process. And they use their own special fitting resource called calibration. There's 400 points to play with. Let's filter our rigs. The rigs come in all different shapes and sizes, and they do lots of different things. So one we're looking for is an engineering rig. Capacitor control circuit. This increases the ship's capacitor regeneration rate, and as you can see, this will make us very much cap stable. Semiconductor memory cell just adds more overall capacitor, and you'll have to experiment and see which one makes the most difference. For us, it's capacitor control circuit, and that used 100 of our calibration. So we have 2 rig slots and 300 calibration to play with. Let's have a look at making our weapons better. What does this do? Decreases CPU need of turret, so we've got CPU headroom, we don't need that. Ambit extension increases fall off. Our pulse lasers were pretty much up close and personal anyway. Burst aerator, what does this do? Increases rate of fire, okay. But again, it changes the cap. This will increase us to 107.5. Collision accelerator. This just increases damage but doesn't affect cycle time. It actually gives us 0.2 more DPS. Discharge. This decreases the capacitor need. This one can be extremely useful in certain circumstances, but we're cap stable anyway. Let's try a collision extender. 107.7 DPS. Big boy figures, triple figures. Almost like a real pilot. What else can we do to buff this even more? Well, let's have a look at getting some better heatsinks. Turrets and launchers. Weapon upgrades, heatsinks. And we don't have skills for Tech 2. Let's have a look at the difference between Tech 1 and Compact. Go to Attributes. Okay, damage modifier of Tech 1, the ones we have, 1.07 and 1.08 for the Compact. Rate of fire bonus 8, rate of fire bonus 9.5. Okay, so the Compact ones are better. So let's simulate having 3 Compact ones. Remember, we were at 107.7. 113.9. Outstanding stuff. And it's still stable even though these are increasing the rate of fire, because we whacked this in and we got this. So what can we do? Well, we knew that we were taking quite a lot of damage. So let's have a look at rigs for armour. Small armour rigs. Hit the auxiliary nano pump. Increases the ship's armour repaired amount per cycle, without affecting capacitor use. Let's have a look at defense. Go to armour repair rate. At the minute, we're repairing 14.6 hit points a second. Well, we're not really doing it per second, we're doing 79 all at one time every 5.4. That's an important distinction to notice. So this will go up to 16.8. Simulate putting that in. We do have enough calibration, just. And that'll give us 91 repaired per 5.4. Is there anything else we can put on? Oh, these just give us static, permanent additions to our resistances, which means we take less of that type of damage per hit. Nanobot accelerator. This reduces the cycle time in the same way that the repair system skill does, and that will eat more capacitor, but it will still be stable. And that will give us to 17.2 repair. It gives us more repair, but it uses more cap. Traverse bulkhead just gives us more hull hit points. We don't need to care about that. Trimark armor pump gives us more armor hit points, but we're actively repairing it, so we don't really need a bigger buffer. And these are all Tech 2. As you see, we've still got the skills filter, so we can fit Tech 2 rigs, because rigs don't actually need any skills to be trained to fit them. All they need is the calibration. Okay, but they do take more calibration. We moused over auxiliary nano pump 2 and the calibration began flashing. Because they take more, in fact 150. The way to see modules that will only fit within your CPU power and calibration is to mouse over this and filter it by remaining resources, and this changes the list to just things you can fit. It will do once I actually turn it on. There we are, it's removed the things that won't actually fit. I think an auxiliary nano pump 1 would be good. Okay, so now we have a fully kitted out Punisher. Simulated. Yeah, that could probably get... We've got headroom left. So let's have a look. Command armor. Energized. Now this module, this basic thing, is rare. See, this little icon here shows you it's a storyline icon, which is extremely rare. So we don't quite have enough CPU to fit that. It's a little bit annoying. Is there anything else we can fit? Well, this... useless. How about See, these layered armor coatings just add armor hit points. And same with the energized version. Armor resistance coatings. A multi-spectrum. Well, we knew that some of the drones were doing kinetic and explosive and they're quite weak. We could buff them a little bit and give us a little bit more of everything. Or do we want to concentrate on EM? EM's quite high anyway. We've just buffed our repair. Are there any armor repairers which are actually give us more repair than the enduring one? Have a look. The enduring, it's 79. The compact does 79 per 6 seconds. Small armor repairer 169. Okay. None of these are any good unless we go into the very rare and very expensive things. 12.8 million for a small armor repairer. We're not going to mess around with that stuff. Decisions, what to do about the armor coating. Do we leave it as an EM one? Go up to 66? Or do we fit a multi-spectrum and go to 61 and bump everything else up a little bit? Okay, let's do this. Now before, what we've done is that we've theory crafted something and then we just bought it straight from the market where we are. But what if they're not all available? Some of them might not be. What you can do, you can save your fitting here and give it a name. And save it. How do we find it? We go to hulls and fits. This is a list of every ship in the game. And more filters. Filter for the current hull, which is good. Frigate. Here we are. This is the one we've just theory crafted. The estimated value of the entire fit, including the ship, is 3.2 million. Now there is a handy buy all function here, so we can click buy all. This will populate itself slowly. Well, we don't need the ship because we have the ship. The red hatching means it's not for sale at this station, so we'd have to go and find it. These red warning triangles are telling us that it's overpriced, so let's not buy it here. Where do we buy it from? Each area of space has what is known as a trade hub station. These are not official by the developers, they have just organically evolved over the last 17 years, and they are stations which players all go to buy and sell everything. So how do we locate it? Because they're unofficial, there's no actual guide in game to find them. So you can go down to a chat channel and ask, where is the nearest hub to trade hub to, and then drag your solar system name down. And this is usually answered very quickly. I know what the answer is, but I'm waiting to show you guys. Copy, ask it in a different one, and keep an eye on this flashing for a reply. Rookie help will usually give us a reply pretty quickly. Someone's given us an answer, but it is incorrect. And someone has linked a chat channel with trade hubs. Oh, this is good. Someone has actually, a player has taken the time to make a chat channel and listed all the major trade hubs in the game. This is quite cool. See, well, we know we're in Amar because we're Amarian, and this is the trade hub station, so we can right click, set destination. Here it's only 4 jumps away, which is really cool. See, it's in a different region. We are in Tashmarkon region, and this is in Domain region. Now, the regional market, as the name regional suggests, only shows you what's available in your current region. This is Tashmarkon, this is Domain. See, luckily for us, the next region is only 2 jumps away, so if we went to Pizeba, we'd be able to see the Domain market, and therefore see everything in the Amar station. Right. We'll keep that chat because it's useful to have. Before we go there, we don't want to buy anything that we already have on the ship. So you can view the fitting to open it out in its own little window. This is all the things we want to buy. Then we can check which of them we have.
Warp drive active.
Enduring? No. EM coating? No. We're going to get a better one? No. No. Compact battery? Yes. But it seems the only thing we're actually keeping on this fit is the battery and the ammunition that we have here. Hey ho, that's the way it goes. And I think we'll just make the trip in the hauler. So let's go. Right, I shall see you in the Amar station. And here we are in the trade hub of the Amar race. Local chat is absolutely stuffed, 299 people, and there will be a lot of spam in this chat will scroll quite quickly, it'll be full of spam. So, now we know what we need to do. On the way here, I played around and I made a destroyer fitting. Well, we haven't played with destroyers yet, because we're going to get one at the end of the advanced military agent. And to be honest, they're not that much better than what we have. Say that quietly, because the game developers don't like it. Theory crafted this thing, which is cap stable with the afterburner off. Yes, it does have 8 guns, which you may think is a lot, but when you look here, we're only actually doing 121.3 DPS, which isn't much more than our Punisher. The resistances are much less, although it does have more armor hit points to chew through. Though destroyers aren't that much better than frigates these days. But we're not here for that. We are here to buy this thing. Yes, load to simulate ship. Go to multi-buy, buy all. Now we don't need to buy the ship, we don't need to buy the ammunition, and we don't need to buy the capacitor battery. Yeah, that's all available. Some of it's saying it's a little bit overpriced, but this is a trade hub, this is as good as we're going to get. This is going to cost us 2.9 million ISK. Buy. I'm just going to buy it. There we are. And everything here, same time. Hey, balance has gone down to 500,000. This huge cargo ship easily has enough to carry it all. Let's get back to Pasha. These things here are Titans. These are the biggest ships in the game. Well, real ones are, these are just scenery. These have been here for years and years. They were part of a lore event that was the coronation of the new Amar Empress, and they've been here ever since. I think the developers just like having them around. Let's get out of here before we get attacked, because trade hubs are a little bit like Mos Eisley. A wretched hive of scum and villainy. All manner of nonsense happens outside trade hubs. You do get to see lots of cool ships. There's a battleship, there's a big hauler, there's a battle cruiser, there's an escape capsule. And lots of guys with yellow skulls because they've been naughty previously. Okay, now we're back. Let's get the Punisher sorted out. Here we have it, our completed, upgraded Punisher. Optimal range isn't very good, but we have an afterburner, 113.9 DPS, decent resistances, cap stable, excellent. Let's try and find more combat sites. Yeah, there's 2. Now, refugees might be a little bit beyond us, but we'll see.
Warp drive active.
As we're cap stable, we can just turn this on. Yeah, how much capacitor we got now? Huge. And I think we'll stack the guns. Optimal range, so we need to orbit at about 2000. Yeah, these gun turrets are the first things that need to die. As you can see, they will straight up wreck us. Refugees spawn mostly frigates and a couple of destroyers. They don't spawn any more gun turrets after you kill the first two, so that's why they need to get wiped off the field first. Lots of scenery here for us to get caught up on. Like that. Hey, second wave, more frigates. These combat sites aren't really too hard. Probably famous last words. Okay, tracking disruption's bad because it disrupts our tracking. But we've got really high tracking. I mean, 270 is huge. And we're using keep it range to keep ourselves lined up, so we're still applying damage just fine. Well, no commander, but they did leave us some wrecks. Let's see what they have, because sometimes you can get some decent stuff in them. 20,000, what's in this one? 36,000. Well, we just spent almost all the money upgrading the ship, so we might as well loot everything we can. Metal scraps are a dear old friend. Okay, next refuge. It would appear someone's already been here and killed one turret and then left. Ah, now this is something very special. As well as having a 5% chance of spawning a commander in a site, there is also, in certain sites, a 5% chance of getting this, which is an additional, much larger site given to us as a more or less private thing, which is found in Agency, Exploration, Escalations. It's 7 jumps away. Oh, bookmark escalations, because we'll be coming back to this a lot. These sites only give you 24 hours to access them, so we have a decision to make. Do we go for it? It's quite a... I know what this site's like. It's pretty tough. I'm not sure we'll be able to do it in a frigate. We can't really afford to lose this frigate because we just spent almost all of our money. We could look at selling some of our junk instead. We could sell our precious Keronite to give ourselves a couple of million, which would let us play around with risking this ship. Probably get a better price in the trade hub. Buyers only buying at 210 here. Look at the price history and have a look at the price history graph. Price history, they say it's going upwards because of the ore changes. It's going upwards and it's going to keep going upwards. 7,000, okay, we need more cargo expanders. You want more cargo expanders. Even after fitting it out with nothing but cargo expanders, we still don't have enough to move our Keronite. Yeah, I think we'll leave this episode here. I think in the next episode we'll do a special and we'll go to that site and we will risk this ship. Because I think if we sell some of our other ships that we have lying around and back at the other base, we would be able to replace it. So we don't need to buy the ship itself because we have one here. All we need to do is to buy the modules. So that could be a very exciting episode, so I will see you soon.